The $280 pair of Subi jeans you just bought, they cost less than $16 to manufacture. Made in Vietnam on a commodity stretch fabric and imported with the Australian label stitched in. You paid $264 more for a brand that convinced you location mattered more than construction. Australian retailers spend over $2 billion annually on premium denim, yet manufacturing costs stay locked between $8 and $18 per pair. The markup is not a mistake. That is the business model. When a brand slaps an Australian flag on jeans that cost $15 to produce and charges $320, they are not selling you better denim. They are selling you a story about better denim, a mythology about heritage that stopped being true the moment they moved production overseas to maximize margins. The construction tells you everything. The origin point tells you nothing. Here is what separates the brands actually investing in Australian craftsmanship from the ones that abandoned it decades ago, and the 10 Australian jeans brands that refuse to play that game. Number 10 is a brand that has been solving problems Australian workers have never asked them to solve, but should have been listening. Wrangler, established 1964 in Australia. A fabric engineer solved broken twill, that diagonal weave pattern that prevents leg twisting after washing. Not marketing language, actual construction physics. When your jeans come out of the dryer and the inseam spirals around your leg, that is twill torque. Wrangler engineered it out of existence in their Australian manufacturing facilities, patented the method, and put it in jeans that tradies wore for 12 hours straight in the Australian heat. Price point stayed under $50 for years. No celebrity endorsements. No Instagram campaigns about heritage or authenticity. The construction did the talking. Agricultural workers bought them because the seams stayed straight. Construction crews bought them because the knees did not blow out after one season on site. Function over mythology. But this next brand took something completely different and applied it to the Australian market with precision that other local makers abandoned. Number 9 is R.M. Williams, established 1932. A quintessentially rural Australian aesthetic that has spent 9 decades building jeans for people who actually need them. The brand manufactures in Adelaide with heritage-focused construction. Hard-wearing denim designed for people who ride horses, mend fences, and work land for 12 hours a day. Not people who post photos in coffee shops. The construction reflects that. Reinforced stress points. Boot-cut fits that account for work boots. The jeans last because they were designed to last. Price point sits between $65 and $120. Mid-tier positioning. Construction-focused durability testing. No celebrity campaigns. No limited edition drops with artificial scarcity. The vertical integration of R.M. Williams means they control more of the supply chain than most Australian brands, and that control shows up directly in material consistency. But R.M. Williams builds for functionality. This next brand builds for precision, and they do it with transparent supply chain documentation that most Australian labels refuse to publish. Number 8 is Denim Smith, crafted in Melbourne, established 2015. The result of a collaborative vision between veteran Australian denim makers committed to ethical production of genuinely high-quality Australian denim. Handmade in East Brunswick, Melbourne. Every single pair goes through quality checkpoints that commodity production cannot afford. Manufacturing cost runs between $35 and $50 per pair. Retail ranges from $189 to $280. That is a markup of roughly 400 to 500%. But here is where it gets valuable. Denim Smith publishes its entire supply chain. They will tell you who makes the jeans. They will tell you where the cotton comes from. They will tell you the stitch density. That transparency is not marketing theater. It is a financial commitment that brands making commodity denim cannot afford to offer because their jeans would not withstand that level of inspection. Number 7 took a completely different approach. They took Australian design sensibility and paired it with brutally honest construction specifications. Rollers, established 2008 in Fitzroy, Melbourne. The brand celebrates Australian vintage denim with simple styling that lets the construction speak for itself. Premium fabrics, organic and recycled yarns wherever possible. The fit engineering is the distinguishing variable. The signature back pocket design developed over years of pattern testing that accounts for body type variation across the Australian population. Manufacturing cost sits between $18 and $32 per pair. Retail ranges between $115 and $195. The markup of roughly 350 to 400% is transparent because the fit quality justifies it. Consumer sentiment among Rollers buyers shows minimal reports of premature structural failure or quality deterioration. That is the fingerprint of real quality. Commodity denim tells on itself within the first 6 months. Quality construction does not. Number 6 is where things get technical in ways that most Australian denim brands avoid. Godspeed, established 2015 in Collingwood, Victoria. Japanese constructed shuttle-woven selvage denim made under transparent ethical practices. The manufacturing cost runs between $45 and $70 per pair. Retail sits between $280 and $350. That is a markup of roughly 450%, the highest on this list by percentage. But the selvage construction is not a marketing gimmick. That tightly woven edge prevents fraying and extends the lifespan of the denim by years. Shuttle loom production is slower and more expensive than industrial looms, but it produces fabric density that industrial methods cannot replicate. Godspeed publishes its maker wages. They publish their factory conditions. The brand exists for people who understand that the lowest price does not mean the best value, and they price accordingly. Number 5 is a younger brand that approached Australian denim making from the opposite direction. A brand established 2013 in Fitzroy, Melbourne. No complicated mythology, no heritage claims stretching back generations, just quality denim that will last at a price that actually reflects manufacturing cost rather than aspirational marketing. Premium fabrics in flattering fits with authentic washes. The philosophy is straightforward. Comfortable fits, no frills, made cool by the people who wear them. Manufacturing cost runs between $16 and $25 per pair. Retail sits between $95 and $150. That is a markup of roughly 400 to 500%. The cost per wear calculation drops dramatically when you understand that a brand designs for longevity, not for next season's trend cycle. A pair worn 4 days a week for 4 years conservative for properly constructed denim drops to approximately 14 cents per wear. At a commodity brand retail price, that same wear pattern produces 40 cents per wear. The math compounds when you understand what you are actually buying. Number 4 took an entirely unexpected approach and executed it better than almost anyone on the Australian denim market. Outland Denim, established 2008 in Queensland. Premium organic and sustainable denim made under ethical labour practices. The brand manufactures with industry-leading water and energy-reducing technology. Manufacturing cost runs between $32 and $48 per pair. Retail ranges from $178 to $245. That is a markup of roughly 400%. The distinguishing variable is not just construction quality, but the second-order impacts of manufacturing method. Water usage reduction of 90% compared to conventional denim production translates to environmental outcomes that commodity denim producers refuse to calculate. Consumer loyalty is remarkably high because buyers recognize they are purchasing functional denim and environmental impact simultaneously. Number 3 is a brand that built its entire reputation on one promise and delivers on it with precision that brands charging double have abandoned. Nobody Denim, established 1999 in Fitzroy, Melbourne. Understated design, sustainable products, quality fashion staples crafted with intention rather than designed for planned obsolescence. Manufacturing cost ranges from $20 to $35 per pair. Retail sits between $125 and $200. That is a markup of roughly 400 to 500%. Nobody Denim operates in that middle ground where legitimate construction quality meets honest pricing. The fit engineering accounts for body type variation. The seam placement reflects pattern-making precision. Most Australian denim brands outsource to the lowest bidder. Nobody maintains quality control at the production level. The difference shows up within the first 10 washes. Number 2 will surprise you because it blends Australian identity with Swedish design sensibility in a way that should not work but does. Noi, established 1999 in Fitzroy, Melbourne. The unexpected collaboration between Melbourne and Stockholm streetwear culture. 3 friends united their fascination with denim and music to create original quality denim designed for musicians, artists, makers, and creators. Manufacturing cost runs between $25 and $40 per pair. Retail ranges from $155 to $220. That is a markup of roughly 400 to 500%. What distinguishes Noi is that every design decision serves function rather than trend. The skinny jean fit was developed through collaboration with musicians and creatives, people who needed mobility and durability simultaneously. The brand inverts the typical Australian label approach. Rather than creating designs for lifestyle imagery, Noi creates designs for people with actual lifestyles. And in first place, the brand that makes the most defensible case for Australian-made value in denim is Flux Denim, established 1999 in Collingwood, Melbourne. Raw denim with effortless authenticity. Founded by two designers who met at punk gigs in Melbourne in the 1980s, which explains the philosophical approach. Manufacturing stays in-house. Denim treatments are applied in-house. The brand uses the best Australian denim available and applies unique treatments that give it rustic authenticity rather than artificial distressing. Manufacturing cost sits between $30 and $45 per pair. Retail ranges from $140 to $200. That is a markup of roughly 380 to 430%. Flux remains solely owned by the two original designers, a brand that stayed small but refuses to lower standards. The cost per wear calculation over a 6-year lifespan drops to approximately 11 cents per wear. The quality compounds with time. The fabric develops patina. The fit shapes to your specific body geometry. The Australian denim industry operates on the same carefully constructed illusion as every other market. You pay for the story, not for what is inside. The smart brands prove quality through construction you can measure. Stitch density, seam reinforcement, fabric weight. The dumb brands prove quality through advertising you cannot verify. Check your jeans right now. Flip them inside out. Feel the fabric weight. Look at the seams. Count the stitches per inch. The evidence is already in your closet. The 10 brands on this list chose construction over mythology, chose transparency over marketing theater. Whether you are spending $95 or $350, you are getting something that will last, develop character, and reward years of wear rather than disintegrating at the 18-month mark. Before you buy Australian denim, ask one question. Can the brand tell you the manufacturing cost and the construction method? If they cannot, you already have your answer.